What's poppin', y'all? This your DJ Brian J Double O, and you're listening to TBS EFM here in the dungeon on a Thursday. Now, the dungeon is actually surprisingly cool today because finally somebody found the remote control for the air conditioner. So what about you? Are y'all hot? Are y'all cold? How y'all feeling? Remember, in this time of year, the weather is going to be really weird, drastic changes for us here in Korea as well, because it gets from like cool to warm to hot, then to wet and sticky and humid, and then hot again, all these ups and downs. And, it's enough to put your system into shock mode, you know what I mean? So speaking of shock, that's the first song of the day. Here's the Jacksons featuring Mick Jagger with State of Shock. That was the Jacksons featuring Mick Jagger with State of Shock. And you guys are listening to What's Poppin' on TBS EFM, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to What's Poppin' with Brian Jew. We're on TBS EFM 101.3 in Seoul and surrounding areas, and GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, there are a few ways you can get in contact with us here at What's Poppin'. You can text us at #1013 for a charge of 51. You can send us a tweet at EFM Poppin' or send us an email at efmpoppin@gmail.com. You can also send us a Kakao Talk message if you add TBS EFM as a plus friend. But remember, you got to put that little @ symbol. I know it's a hassle, but you got to do it at TBS EFM, and it's easier to find us on the Kakao Talk Plus Friend service, of course. And also send in all your requests, or if you just want to say hello to us, we love to listen or hear from our listeners. And if you want to join us for Open Studio that airs every Friday, we pre-record for that on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So send us an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com with your name and telephone number, and we'll get you guys situated. But right now, it is time for the Word Up Word of the Day. Now, the Word of the Day is related to the first song, of course, but again, not directly. The song was called State of Shock. State of Shock by the Jacksons. And this is Michael Jackson and his brothers who went on the Victory Tour shortly after the Thriller album came out. It was a last tour that they did together as the Jacksons, of course, although they did still perform together from time to time as the Jacksons. Not the Jackson 5, but the Jacksons. Now, did you notice another voice up in there? That was the voice of Mr. Mick Jagger, the lead singer of the Rolling Stones. Yes. Now, did you know that State of Shock, this song is actually a cover of a Rolling Stones track? Did you know that? But they decided to do the song with Mick Jagger. So, what is that? Is that a cover? Is that a duet? Is that a remake? You guys be the judge. Anyway, shock is not the word of the day, but what can a shock give you? Think about that. Yes. What can give you a shock, actually? I said that wrong. What can give you a shock? Electricity. So the word of the day is electric. Yes. And that's what we want to do here at What's Poppin'. We want to electrify you. That's what we're going to do right now. So the next song that we're going to play for you guys is by Oasis with She's Electric. All right, that was Oasis with She's Electric. Now, coming up on today's show, it's Thursday, so that means Eugene will be here in the studio with me for Poppin' News. We're going to be talking about some trifling people, some world records, some cray-cray stuff around the world of Florida. Yes, he tends to find news on people from Florida. I mean, it's not a shock because Florida has some cray-cray news. I'm not trying to dog on y'all Florida people. Don't get me wrong, my cousins all live in Florida. I love Florida. But y'all have some weird news. And the funny thing about all this, it's all true. It's not made up. It was in the news. I don't know which news site he gets it from, but it's all in the news. So if you guys want to find out which cray-cray news that Eugene's going to be talking about, you need to stay tuned for that in the second half of our show. But right now, we're going to go into our next song. As you guys know, last week, we asked our listeners if they wanted to make the third song on Thursdays a K-pop history song. And, when we go way back into K-pop history, bring up the old school singers. I'm not in that K-pop history because I call myself a present-day K-pop singer. I don't want to be old school. I'm not old school, alrighty? I look in the mirror, I don't look old school to me. Anyways, the question I asked people on Twitter, Miss Twitter World, I said, if 20 people continue to tweet about, this K-pop history track on Thursdays, then we'll keep that corner for y'all. But guess what? Guess how many tweets we got? Oh my gosh! It's crazy! We got one. We got one tweet, y'all. One freaking tweet. Not 20, not 2, not 19, not 15, but one tweet. What is going on, y'all? We have like 900 followers and we got one tweet. What's going on? You guys don't care about K-pop history? The back in the day pioneers who got us into K-pop? Anyways, since you guys only tweeted, one person only tweeted actually, we're not going to do the whole K-pop history thing, but we will play some old school K-pop tracks for you guys from time to time. But right now we have a track for you guys. It's not old school, but it's K-pop. One of my girls in this group, my homegirl, Amber, of course. Check it out. This is FX with Electric Shock. That was Electric Shock by my girls, FX. Now, the final song of the first half, we couldn't have the word electric without this next song by Eddie Grant. Now, Eddie Grant is an interesting artist who was born in Belize but then moved to London as a child. There he became popular in the 1970s as a singer that brought a Caribbean sound with him. And his biggest song, though, was in the early 1980s with the song Electric Avenue. And the song stayed popular all through the 1980s. And the music video for it was filmed in 1988, even though the song was released in 1982. And it was released again in 2001. And it became the #1 hit in the UK again. Yes. I'm like, I almost read it as in the UK again. Yes, it's not UK, it's the UK, United Kingdom again. So check it out. This is the last song of the first half of our show. This is Mr. Eddie Grant with Electric Avenue. All right, you guys are tuned into TBS efm's What's Poppin'. We're going to start the second half of our show, but right after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Paparazzi. Now, y'all, I gotta let you know, when you're working in broadcast, sometimes there's certain subjects that we can't talk about, or certain things, that we have to censor from our speech, of course. And you might notice that whenever we talk about certain companies or brands, we need to elude them, like saying when we eat at the Golden Arches, you know what I'm talking about there, or saw a movie at the local, now this is a Korean movie theater, so we have to say the local community graphics venue, of course. There's something of that sort, of course, and that happens all the time in broadcast. Well, it turns out that our girls from the group Dalshabet here in Korea has run into some trouble because of the lyrics in one of their songs. Now, one of the major broadcasting agencies here in Korea objected to the lyrics of the song 내 다리를 봐, which has an English title of Be Ambitious. Now, that's totally weird because I know a lot of Korean groups do that. They take the Korean title and the English title, and it's totally different. I don't do that. I haven't done it yet, but hopefully I don't have to do that in the future. Anyways, the offending lyrics that people were complaining about from this big broadcasting agency translated into English like this. When is our relationship progressing to the next level? Going home even when drunk? Are you really a man? Are you being shy? Well, wow! Can you believe that? Well, the broadcasting company made them change the lyrics, or they wouldn't be able to promote that song on their station. So the new lyrics for the company are this now. Now check it out. Totally different. Do you even find my egg cute? Why do you keep looking at the clock? Look at me. Do you really like me? Of course, I did that accent to sound a little cute, the egg yolk. But that's totally different because the first one's very seductive and very straightforward. The girl's like, you know what? Be a man. Take me home. Be romantic. Now, the second one's more like, I'm 12. Be cute. But that's Korean K-pop for y'all. And also an official from the Happy Face Entertainment said the lyrics of Dalshabet's title track, Be Ambitious, received a decision of not being fit for broadcast from the S Broadcast Company. The lyrics in question were immediately modified and requested for another evaluation, and it was accepted. Now, M and K broadcasting companies already accepted the original song the way it was, so we will perform the original lyrics. We'll only perform the modified version with the new lyrics on the S broadcast system. Well, we don't know who to side with here because, if you put it that way, pop tracks in America, they're crazy. Some of the songs that we play here or any station in the world, they're crazy. So Dalshabet, those lyrics, they're not that bad. Shoot, Rihanna, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, just to name a few, those go a little over the line. So you guys, you're good to go, in my opinion. Anyways, we're going to play this song for you guys from Dalshabet. Not the song that we're talking about because that song will actually release tomorrow. Actually, today, because we're pre-recording, which is tomorrow, of course. So we can't play for that for you guys right now. So we're going to play another Dalshabet track for you guys. This is called 있기 없기. Hey Hey, y'all. Welcome back to What's Poppin'. Now it's time for Poppin' News. Trifling news around the world. We have a trifling newsman. Well, he's not trifling, but we have a
What
news.
you talking about? I ain't trifling. This just in, Brian is bad at egg yolk.
What? Who said that?
I wonder if I'm... What was that?
That's only because I was imitating these girl groups. Man, I am the king of egg yolk.
No, you gotta be like, 오빠, 이거 사줘. Like that. That's better, right?
All right, I just vomited in my mouth. I'm about to throw up again. Anyways.
Yes.
We're not here to talk about Dal Shabet and egg yolk. We're actually talking about some trifling news, some cray-cray news that actually is real.
Yes, this is real. Actually, the first thing, do you like the cereal that is O-shaped and makes you happy?
O-shaped and makes you happy.
Like cheerful?
Of course I like the cereal, but that cereal is... Yes, you got to get close to the mic, Eugene. That cereal is... I feel like it was too much for me because my brother would always eat that, and I like variety, so I would actually, I like the cereals with marshmallows and stuff.
No, everyone likes those better. But there was a controversy recently over this cereal because they had a commercial recently, and in the commercial, basically the little girl goes up to her mom and she's like, "Is this cereal good for your heart?" And mother reads it. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, well, it says it's good for you because it has this and that and vitamin this or whatever." And she's like, "Okay, thank you." And then she runs over to her dad, who's sleeping on the couch, and dumps the whole box of Cheerios on his heart, right? Or on his chest. So it's cute, right? That's really cute.
Is that egg yolk?
I don't know if that's egg yolk, but it's a cute commercial, right? But there's a lot of controversy over this commercial. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Why would you think? Just guess.
Because it's false advertisement. Well, not really a false advertisement. It's good for your heart if you eat the cereal, not put it on your heart.
Yeah, obviously. But the problem was that the kid was a biracial kid.
Okay.
And mother was white, and the father was black in this particular commercial.
Okay.
So they put it up on YouTube, and after 30 minutes, they had to take off all the comments on YouTube because there were so many hateful messages going up on there.
About what? You can't have
about the
interracial
interracial relationship being projected that way on TV. And it was ridiculous. Some of the comments in there were like, how are you going to make, a black man take all our women and stuff like that? It was ridiculous, some of the stuff you see like that.
That's reality.
Yeah, it is reality.
Interracial relationships in the world. There's Korean parents, with Korean moms, Caucasian dads.
Obviously,
Caucasian
I know
moms,
that's reality.
African American dads. I don't know why people are getting so fed up about this.
But the some more surprising thing, there are a lot of racists out there, so you can expect that they would do something like that. But I was surprised a large number of the comments were actually coming from black women. Because they were saying that this is depicting, successful black men are only interested in white women, and if you're successful, you have a white woman.
So into things like this.
I know,
hate
right?
That.
It's ridiculous. I don't see why they complain.
All right, you're a good example. Mm-hmm. You have a Korean wife.
Yes.
All right. So if we put a picture of you online, say on our webpage, are people going to be like, "Oh my gosh, you Korean women are taking our white men and marrying them"?
Well, that's a different story because I'm actually half Korean, so they would say.
Oh, then they're going to yell at your parents.
Well, no, because my father's the Korean one, which that's somehow okay. People say, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But that's just ridiculous. I think the whole story is trifling. It's a commercial, and if you don't like interracial relationships, then don't be in one. It's your own personal choice.
So do these ladies not like Michael Jackson? Because his previous wife is white.
I have no idea. I don't know them at all. But there were a lot of people that were just really complaining about that, and I was very surprised.
All I can say to y'all people is peace on earth, goodwill to men.
I know, right?
Go ahead.
Taste the rainbow of fruit flavors, like the candy, right? Okay, let's go on to the next story, which is from Huffington Post.
Alrighty.
There is a suit of armor being sold on eBay. Right?
Okay.
And you would think that something like that would be really expensive, right?
Okay.
But this suit of armor is not for people.
Alrighty.
It's for guinea pigs.
That's cute.
So if you look, there's a picture.
I see the picture right now.
Yeah, it's really cute. So the reason that the person made this originally was because they were going to a Renaissance fair kind of thing, and they wanted to put the guinea pig in the armor to be all kind of cute and everything, but then they realized they didn't have any use for it afterwards, so they tried to sell it on the eBay. And the price of it is around $305.
Whoa, for a guinea pig?
No, for the armor.
Yeah, for the guinea pig armor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like $300.
Now, I can see somebody. I can think of people who wouldn't buy this. Like all you Game of Thrones freaks out there. I never saw the show, but everybody I hang out with like, did you see the latest Game of Thrones? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened. I'm like, I don't watch the show.
Does that person's name begin with an A?
There's so many people like that.
Yeah, I know.
So many people like that. I do not watch that show. I'm not against it. I just didn't have time to get into it. But that reminds me of like a Game of Thrones outfit.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that guinea pigs. I actually used to have one. Have you ever been around them before?
I never had a guinea pig. I had friends who had guinea pigs.
Okay.
I've only had dogs.
I see.
Yeah,
now,
and
would
goldfish.
you ever buy a kind of suit of armor for your dog? Maybe.
Maybe for Halloween, but not for $305.
How much would you be willing to spend?
Maybe $3 to $5.
Okay. So it was saying that the reason they wanted to make this again was to go to that Renaissance fair, and it was handmade. The person who did this like basically worked the metal by themselves. You know, it's chainmail, so looks very, very interesting.
It looks cool in the picture.
It does, but
It looks like a superhero
I
or something.
don't know how well that would protect the guinea pig though, because if
It
you
wouldn't protect it at all.
if you were to step on it, it would still probably squash it.
Those little metal thingies would probably crush it and make it bleed, so I don't think it's that safe.
Probably the guinea pig is not feeling comfortable either.
You know what I think the guinea pig's thinking in that picture right now?
What?
He thinks, I believe I can fly. Which is the next song right now. Check it out. This is R. Kelly with I Believe I Can Fly. That was R. Kelly with I Believe I Can Fly. I don't get why he's crying in the song, but he believes he can fly. And right now we're on Poppin News, and we're talking about some crazy news that's happening in the world today. So far we talked about some cereal and some guinea pigs. So what else we got on the news?
Well, this one, again, comes out of our favorite state of FL, Florida. Yes, of
I
course.
was going to say state, but then you said state, so I was going to say Fort Lauderdale?
Oh, okay, I see. No, the thing about Florida, again, I don't think it's always the Florida people that are doing all these things. You know, because it's a very popular vacation spot. So a lot of people,
yeah, exactly.
they
People
come
from
out
other
yeah.
states and countries are going to Florida to cause these weird problems.
Yeah, so, but I don't know if that's the case today. This one is a story, let's just talk a little bit about driving. When you're driving and there's a cop that comes behind you, or you see the flashing lights, what do you do usually?
In the States, I freak out. In Korea, I'm more like, maybe they're after somebody else. Yeah.
Well, actually, in Korea, they drive around with the lights all the time. It
In
seems
the
like.
Korea? He said in
Did
the
I say
Korea.
in the Korea?
Yes.
In the Republic of Korea is what I meant to say. No, you know how they drive with the lights on all the time, even if there's no problem here.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen that, yeah.
And that's kind of one time even like there was a red light and I stopped and the cops were behind me and I was like, yeah, I better not drive through the red light because there's cops and they get on the megaphone.
Obviously, you should be
thing.
drive through a red light.
Yeah, but they got through the megaphone and they're like, "There's no cars coming, just go." And I was like, "You're okay."
He said that to you? They told you to go at a red light?
Yeah, because I guess I was on my scooter and they thought there's no cars coming, which is weird. But generally, you are supposed to get out of the way when the lights are shining in America, anyway.
Okay.
Right. So there was some guy who is in Florida, and he figured, if I'm late for work, then I should find a way to get there earlier, right?
Okay.
And he's not a cop, but he installed a blue siren light on top of his car.
That's
and
illegal.
It is illegal. And so basically he was driving along and some lady was driving slow in the fast lane, right?
Okay.
So he turned on the lights and she pulled off onto the shoulder and just drove by. And then the lady looked and saw his license plate, noticed that it didn't say anything about law enforcement. The car was not marked for anything like that. So she called the police.
She ratted him out.
Yes, she did rat him out. And then the guy's name was Mr. Vega, apparently. And
From Street Fighter? I love that character. With the claws? Yes.
Well, I remember that. He was my favorite character for a while.
Yes, he was fun to fight people with.
Even though he was supposed to be evil.
Yes.
But anyway, back to the story. The police said that they found the man and they questioned him afterwards. And he said, quote, "You can get around so much faster when stupid people are moving out of your way." So it's even self-incriminating there. Obviously,
I
he's
just calling everybody stupid.
yeah, he's not a police officer at all, but he's installed this siren light in his car just to drive by people, and that's just wrong.
Very wrong.
Impersonating that is impersonating a police officer, right?
That is.
So
I wouldn't do that.
yeah, I mean, like there's some cars that they are allowed to do that, like the pickup trucks, and they have the yellow lights on top,
Okay.
or maybe the.
But you can't have blue and red because that's actually a cop-colored light.
Well, he is going to get he's not going to be punished as much because there was no red; it was just blue. But still, that's really wrong. And he didn't have the siren either. He just made the flashing lights. So, the lady thought, oh, what did I do? Maybe I'm in trouble. So she pulled over and expected the cop, quote unquote cop, to pull up behind her and give her a ticket or something. But he just drove by and basically wasn't wearing a uniform, nothing. It was a terrible, terrible decision on his part.
Yes, yo, that's what happens in the world. There's some weird news. And please, if you're not a cop, do not go around with no lights on your car and act like a cop just to get through traffic. But unfortunately, with all the news that was talked about today, it is time to wrap up our show. Already? Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. The crazy news that happened in the world. I'm still getting over this new guinea pig outfit thing. It's so cute. But anyways, we got the last song of the hour for you guys. This is Brian Ju and
Eugene Huang
signing off.
Peace.
Check it out. This is Spitting Games by Snow Patrol, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.